I left my A rank party to help my former students reach the dungeon depth. 12 episodes, action, adventure, fantasy, and harem. Now, this is your typical, well, recent typical formula. Kick out of the heroes party, kick out of the A rank, S rank, the whole getting kicked out of a party. That certain person that got kicked out turned out to be super OP or super useful for the party, regret kicking her out and falling into ruin. It's being uh, not a formula that have being used for quite a while now. But just because it's something familiar and has been done before, I'm not going to knock it down outright. No, I'm going to give it a fair chance. I watched all 24 episodes and I'm going to give you my opinion. Now, we have our main character Juke and his yes, our main character Juke and his party with the Thunder Pikers, who well who were just doing their typical dungeon crawling, and something I'm going to be say outright. I was very surprised that even though that this is a fantasy world, they have streaming technology. They have this little mechanical bird-like thing that follows them around and live record or stream to the general public, whether it be in the town or cities or the commercial area where people buy their groceries and stuff. Yeah, I was very, it caught me a little bit off guard. And not only do they have, they pretty much have TVs in their homes. Now it's a magical TV, and they don't go into detail how it works, but is they have streaming technology. That's the only thing that that was mentioned throughout the 24 episode. How it works, I have no idea. But our main character Duke, he's being with the Thunder Pikers, his party. The people celebrate them, looking up as a example of what to be an adventure. But behind the scenes, obviously everything was not good. The other party members were looking down upon our main character Duke as being useless. They don't give him, even though that Duke, he is, in my opinion, he is a fantastic asset to any party, not only in the battlefield but also outside the battlefield. He does buff to his party members. He has debuff. He has a unique spell that is only for red mages. He's a red mage, and it's called mana replenish. Yes, mana replenish, which restore completely the mana of a party member. So when it comes to members who can use super damaging spells but consume a lot of mana, or healing magic that can heal all the party member at once, having somebody like him in your party is super useful. With that spell alone, he is an asset. But not only that, but only he offers more. He he likes to buy with his money. He likes to buy artifacts. He has so many useful artifacts that makes dungeon crawling super easy, not easier and more comfortable, because sometimes you can be dungeon crawling for days or weeks at a time. So having his items to have proper food, proper rest, and proper navigation, detecting traps and such, his artifacts are super useful. And even in the battlefield, he likes to buy a lot of scrolls to be prepared in any type of situation, and has even have the right spell for the right occasion, even if whether it be his own or a scroll that he activates. So he's very useful. And his former party, the Thunder Pikers, they did not see him as an asset because he wasn't down in the front lines fighting, not giving him his fair share of money, and and downballing him and not giving him his fair share. So he felt disrespected. Duke left his party, decided to go on of his own, and he stumbled upon his former students where he taught them the basic of dungeon crawling, and they say, hey, and they say, hey, you're free, then join us. We would love to have you as a new party member. He took the offer. After watching him the way he fights, they nominate him the leaders, and he has a lot of experience. There was absolutely no ill will between the three girls about him being the new leader. Now the three girls, we have Silk, the dark elf, who is an archer; Marine, who is the red hair girl; who human, she's a samurai; and we have Rain, the blue hair girl, who is the mage of the group. The different type of magic between ice magic, lightning magic, and I think I should use just the mage all rounder with magic. Now the typical, he loves his new group, his new team member, his new party. They go to explore dungeons, defeat a couple of monsters. They stream it, and people they stream their dungeon crawling. The people viewing their adventures, so, and they get more popular, more famous, and in the process they getting more and more quest offers, and sometimes even they rank up. The other three girls being newbies, going from C rank to B rank, and they are just living their best life. But Simon and the Thunder Pikers, they seen better days. Ever since Duke decided to go on of his own to his new party, they have been down, struggling in the dirt. They just not knowing left from right. They doing, look. The best way I can say all of this is that this Thunderpiker, Simon, and his flunkies are a couple of amateurs. Amateurs in every way possible. They go to a dungeon and they don't stock up on potions. Basic stuff. No map, no layout of the dungeon. They don't investigate which type of monsters appear in the dungeon. They don't have items to make it easier to detect traps, or they don't have nothing. They just, hey, wanna go dungeon crawling? Hey, just let me put on my shirt, let me grab my sword, and that's it. Let's go. They don't bring any equipment. Amateurs. and they try to fill the void by recruiting new adventurers to join the party, but those don't last. They recognize that, hey, I'm not A rank, but even I know that what you're doing is super amateurish. Um, they don't last long. I'm not going to stick with you guys. I'm going to go off and join another party or something. You guys are a lost cause. And yes, the Thunderpiker group is just a mess. So what does Simon do? He tried to go to Juke and say, "Hey, you, why don't you come to our party?" Like saying in a condescending way, like he's doing him the biggest favor. Oh, you're in this S rank party. We're going to give you the privilege to coming back to our A rank party. And obviously, our boy Juke was not having anything of it. He's like, don't, sorry, don't touch me. I'm not going to join your party. Never ever. Don't talk to me anymore. And just left him and give him a. He wasn't backing down. He looked straight to his eye and told him, "I not gonna," and left him there with his mouth open and went to his party Clover. Now, obviously, Simon not taking that down lightly, make a lot of mistakes along the way. He continue messing up missions. The guild receptionist telling him, "Hey, you'll be messing a lot. So if you mess up even one more time, we're gonna downgrade you from an A rank to a B rank." Simon not going to take that down lightly. He's very proud and arrogant out of himself, and he continues doing mistake after mistake after mistake, and Simon does a big no-no, and in one of the live stream in dungeon crawling, even caught on camera, he said something that he should not have said, and pretty much got him in a huge problem. The guildmaster was, "You moron, you moron, you are going to cause an international accident with what you said," and pretty much exile him. "Hey, you are stripped from being an adventurer in this kingdom. You are exiled. If you want to be an adventurer, do it in another kingdom, but not in this one." And pretty much Simon went up the deep end, cornered, nothing to lose, do something very stupid, and met his end, and died a gruesome death. Now, how did he die and how did the rest of the Thunderpikers died? Watch the anime and find out. Now, yes, and now with all that said and done, Black Clover, sorry, Clover, with Duke and his team members. Well, along the way, he does make new team members. We have Nene, the cat girl, who is like the scout slash ninja of the group. She has an invisibility cloak. She scouts ahead. She detects traps, unlock traps from treasure chests. Very useful team member. But we also have our other new team member, Jamie, who was also part of Thunder Piker with Simon and the group, but she was the only one that really regretted what she did and sought forgiveness for Duke She sought forgiveness to Duke and properly apologized. And unlike the other team member of Thunder Piker who died, watch the anime to find out, she was the only one that obviously survived, and she pretty much joined the harem. And I do mean that literally. It's pretty much a harem. They are in a relationship. They just haven't made it official. They haven't said it in official words or anything. For it's like being in one without being in one. It's not going to be official until somebody says it. Type of thing. Now, yes. Now I already touched upon the story. I already touched upon the characters. The action was well done. I did enjoy the action. The both when it comes to the swordsmanship, the magic, was well done. The story I touched upon very slightly. What everything that I just said was only the first 9 episodes of the 24 episodes. So I only touched upon the first arc. Now, without giving spoilers for the other batch of episodes, the story was also well done. It got a little bit confusing when they were touching upon some lore of the world and such, where it was a little bit. You have to pay attention to absorb the knowledge of what they were talking about, but it was still a very well it was still good world building, is what I'm going to say. Even the other characters that come up in the future, the side characters, very interesting. They go, even though we don't spend too much time with them, we do meet up with other well-known adventure groups that we did see a little bit of them and their dynamic, the way they conduct themselves in dungeon crawling, or their, not only in the dungeon but outside the dungeon, being in a professional way. And honestly, yes, very interesting characters. Many of them I would like to see more of them. To see, let's say they do a second season, I would like to see a well handful of episodes where they join up a dungeon, and during the entire dungeon crawl, the two of them are dungeon crawling together, because most of the in the 24 episodes, yes, they are in the same dungeon, but they're mostly exploring different parts of the dungeon, so we didn't get to see too much of them, which was a shame, because those side characters were actually very interesting and I want to see more of them. And like I said, the story well done, a little bit convoluted in the world building a little bit, but I still enjoy it. And let me see. Yes, there's no characters that appear that become very essential to the story. There was one that thought that she was going to be annoying, but no, she turned out to be a very well done character, because usually many people say that the little kid characters is the annoying character, that they are not written in a well way, but no, that character was well written. Now, I think I already touched upon the story, the characters, the action, the harem. That somebody has to make it official for us to see a little bit more action in the romance department or the harem department. Our boy is very shy. He's a natural ladies man, but he's very awkward when it comes to romance. Back combination. So yeah, I think I'm already said everything I'm going to say. The last thing I think I'm going to say is that after I personally finish watching these 24 episodes, well, I know the reason, but I actually was a little bit sad to seeing it go, to see that I already finished the anime. Usually, I only get that feeling when it's a very well done anime, and I just feel a little bit hollow inside because it feels like, man, it was just so good. It just let me. It filled a hole in my heart, and now that the anime is gone, I feel that void. But the best way I could say is that this one is a very well done comfort food. Is the best way I can put it. Very well done comfort food anime. I enjoy all 12, 24 episodes, and I was genuinely sad to see it go. I want to see a second season, and the 24 episodes, those last 5 minutes, they were establishing them going to a new kingdom, the elf kingdom, and going to a new adventure. So maybe they, not 24 episodes, but maybe 12 episodes, 13. Maybe we can get a second season in a timely manner. Let's say that. Now, before I go, obviously, I'm going to give you my score. Now, this one, I'm going to give the score of 7 out of 10. Well done anime. I want a second season. I already thought I already said everything I wanted to say, so I'm going to leave it here. So, have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're from, and see you next video.